Hey, it's Stephen Thurston II, July 15th through the 19th. I know where you need to be, at the Rainbow Push Convention. Listen, to get all the details, all the information, go to rainbowpush.org. Reverend Jackson has been teaching us that faith without works is dead. We misappropriate that text in so many other contexts other than the one it means. That text is talking about meeting the needs, the practical needs of people. And that's what Push has been and will continue to equip us as pastors and leaders to do. So we need you to be there. Get plugged in, help to build capacity for you as a leader, and then for your church, for your organization, for the community at large. July 15th to the 19th, I'm looking to see you there.
Well, good morning. This is the Saturday morning town hall of the Rainbow Push Coalition, Dr. King's workshop right here in Chicago. You can follow us on Facebook and subscribe to that YouTube channel and go to www.rainbowpush.org. Text the word PUSH to 41444 and join the fastest growing civil rights army on the planet as we lift up the life and legacy and leadership of Reverend Jackson. We are keeping hope alive. Receive the sounds of freedom. Come on, everybody, clap your hands wherever you are. Good morning, and good morning to you. Welcome. Let's have a party real quick. Come on, everybody, clap your hands. Come on. Hey! Come on, let's clap our hands. We're going to bless the Lord on this morning. I don't know where you are, but just take a moment and say with us, and I will bless the You've been too Well, this is Dr. King's workshop, the Rainbow Push Coalition. Let's celebrate the work of Reverend Jackson. Clap your hands if you will. Well, thank you for joining us from wherever you are, our affiliates, our satellites, our chapters. Those of you who are joining us on YouTube, subscribe to that channel right now, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We want to dedicate our platform today to praying for Royal Mickey Warren. I want you to know that you are in our prayers and in our thoughts. We're so glad to have from our Silicon Valley office, Dr. Joseph Bryant. Put your hands together for him on today. And we have an amazing volunteer and a member that has been a part of the Rainbow Push, Operation Breadbasket, Operation Push, the 84-88 campaign. It is her birthday, and I'm not going to tell her age, and I'm just telling you, it's a blessing to be alive. Miss Eunice Wigfall. Let's put our hands together for her. Happy birthday to you. We want to continue to pray for one of our strongest allies in the South, in Jacksonville, Florida, Benjamin Frazier, a longtime media consultant and media personality and activist of the Northside Coalition, passed away this week, and we want our allies and our partners, our stakeholders in Jacksonville, Florida, to know that we are praying for the Frazier family. What an amazing leader, what an amazing supporter, and we thank God for his life, and as long as we remember him, he will live. This week, and we're so glad to have who's going to present to us momentarily, Congressman Jonathan Jackson. Let's give it up for Congressman Jackson being with us. The Congressional Black Caucus met this week and had a awesome ceremony highlighting Congressman John Lewis, a stamp in his honor. Let's celebrate the life of and the memory of Congressman John Lewis. Also, members of the Congressional Black Caucus made it clear that we wanted to make sure that immigrants from the diaspora of Africa and Caribbean, South and Central America are receiving the right and appropriate treatment, and they addressed the disproportionate impact that African and Caribbean migrants are receiving. And so we're thankful that Congressman Jackson's on the front line in the Congress fighting on our behalf. Let's celebrate Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson coming in. Our annual convention is fastly approaching, and we've got so much going on. You can go to www.rainbowpush.org as our international annual convention. It happens here in Chicago, July 15th through the 19th. July 15th through the 19th at the Rubenstein Forum on the campus of the University of Chicago. It all starts right here at the international headquarters with the 35th remembrance and celebration of Reverend Jackson's 84-88 presidential campaign reunion. Members are coming, delegates are coming, campaign workers are coming, people from around the country are coming as we're kicking off that day on that Saturday. And it's going to be a day filled of public policy, a day filled of legislation. We're going to be dealing with these two decisions from the Supreme Court as it relates to the affirmative action and the student debt loan. We want to make sure that we stay on the forefront. As a matter of fact, this coming Wednesday, leaders and policy makers and legislators will be meeting right here in Chicago at 10 a.m. as we're going to launch a national initiative to address both the student loan debt. There's probably been nobody who has been more prolific and persistent as it relates to the issue of student loan debt and affirmative action than Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson. And we are not backing down, we're not backing up, and we're not giving up. This is just another day to win another fight. And so we'll be addressing that this Wednesday here in Chicago at 10 a.m. You can go to www.rainbowpush.org. You can call us here at 773-FREEDOM on your dial to get more information about that. But we're so glad to have on Monday, well, let me go back to Sunday, July 16th, Crystal Rucker is one of our headline artists for the Dr. Clay Evans Gospel Concert that's going to be held at the Fellowship Church of Chicago. We're honoring Lavonia Whitney. We're honoring the life and legacy of Archbishop Lucius Hall. And we are honoring the musical legacy of Dr. Charles G. Hayes and the Cosmopolitan Community Choir. It is an absolutely free concert at the Fellowship Church of Chicago, 45th Place and Princeton in Chicago. Go to that website, www.rainbowpush, and get more information. You can hit that live link and you can get all of the information as it relates to these events. May 17th is our International Day. We've got delegations coming from Nigeria, from South Africa, from Ghana. We've got delegations coming from Europe. And Reverend Jackson at the Urban Development Luncheon will be receiving the highest civilian honor from the nation of Colombia on July 17th. Congresswoman Omar from Minnesota will be making a presentation to us, and we're very excited about that. On Tuesday, July 18th, the new mayor of the city of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, will be highlighting our business breakfast on July 18th. Let's give it up for Mayor Brandon Johnson. Oh my, business leaders from everywhere, and you'll hear momentarily some of the work that we're doing with general contractors and professional services and landscapers and putting people to work. It is an amazing opportunity, that business breakfast on Tuesday morning, and then our faith leaders will be joining us. Dr. Freddie Haynes from Houston, Texas will be our faith leaders speaker on Tuesday, and then our labor dinner at the Operators Engineering Hall here in Chicago. Labor leaders from all over the country. You know, there's been perhaps nobody who has fought more for fair wages, fought more for the middle class, fought more to put America back to work than Reverend Jesse Jackson. And labor leaders are coming to Chicago to celebrate his legacy and his leadership. And to cap it off is one of the most amazing gatherings of women anywhere. Reverend Jeanette Wilson will talk more about it. Our women's luncheon on July 19th. Make some noise, women. It is the crown jewel of our annual convention, and you can go to www.rainbowpush.org. Registration is only $35. All meal events are $150 individual tickets, and for a table of 10, it's $1,500. But guess what? The amount doesn't matter, because you're getting content, you're getting connectivity, and you're getting engagement, and of course you're helping Reverend Jesse Jackson keep hope alive. I want you to right now go to that site or text the word PUSH to 41444 and join the fastest growing civil rights army on the planet. Listen, we've got an amazing program in store for you, but before we get into that, I want you to hear again from the sounds of freedom. Put your hands together for them as they come.
Can I get y'all just to clap y'all hands one more time for Reverend Jesse Jackson, Bishop Tavis Grant, some of the greatest men that the universe has seen to lead this fight towards justice for all. And because we're fighting for justice, we have to declare one thing, that we're walking into this thing blessed. Anybody blessed? Anybody blessed? Anybody blessed? Can I get y'all to sing it with us? Come on, let's go back a little bit. Come on, everybody clap your hands. Come on. Say, everybody say blessed, 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 blessed. Come on, let's say it one more time. Everybody say blessed, 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 blessed. Come on, now let's sing it together. We're blessed in the city. Come on. We're blessed in the city. We're blessed when we're blessed in the field. Say we're blessed when we come and when we go. Say we cast down every stronghold. Sickness and poverty, for the devil is. Come on, that's it. Let's sing it again. We're blessed. We're blessed. We're blessed. Yeah. Come on, clap your hands. We cast out every stronghold. Sickness and poverty must cease. Hey, for the devil is. Hey. Right here, listen, the song says, late in the midnight hour. Hey, God's gonna work in your favor. That's it. Come on, everybody say late in the midnight. God's gonna turn it around. And around, and around, and around. Come on, let's sing it in. Say late in the midnight hour. God's gonna, hey, he's gonna work. Hey, come on, everybody clap your hands and say, late in the midnight hour. God, hey, and around, and around, and around, and around. It's gonna work, and around. He's gonna turn it all around. You gotta believe he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. Hey, come on, clap your hands, everybody. Hey. And around, and around. Come on, everybody say, we're blessed. We're blessed. Everybody say, we cast out every stronghold, sickness and poverty, for the devil is. Hey.
Make some noise for the sounds of freedom. Again, you're watching us on YouTube. Subscribe to that channel. You can like, share, comment, and text, tag, and tell somebody about the push, the Rainbow Push Town Hall right here, Dr. King's Workshop, 50th and Drexel in Chicago. Dial that number 773-FREEDOM on your dial and text the word PUSH to 41444. He is making tremendous impact and leaving a mark on our nation as one of the newest members of Congress. He is Congressman Jonathan Luther Jackson. Put your hands together for him as he comes.
Thank you, Bishop Grant. Thank you, Rainbow Push. Glad to be back in our home again. Thank you, Dad, for your tremendous work. I want to talk to you for the next few moments about the impact of the Supreme Court decision, not just on student debt, but on racial justice and equality. Some people would say, let us be reasonable. Let's look at both sides of the argument so that we can have a fair and balanced discussion. And I would tell you, the other side is simply wrong. I've had this discussion and it makes no sense. The Supreme Court is hypocritical and they have contradicted themselves again. And this is deep. And I know people don't like to go back in history and people get tired when you talk about history. But this was so deliberate, so strategic, what happened, the way the court case was framed and even argued and manipulated. So we talk about the 1619 Project. What is critical race theory? What does our history have to do with this? Why did this plaintiff go for Harvard University and the University of North Carolina? Start there. Harvard, the oldest private education institution in the nation. University of North Carolina, the oldest public institution in the nation. Harvard is founded in 1636. 1636, when it was legal to get a charter from the British government to go to the western shores of Africa, capture people, take children, kidnap them, bring them to the colonial Americas, bring them to South America, bring them all across the country to buy and sell human beings. This happened on American soil, the soil that's supposed to be for the free and the brave. We were kidnapped, brought over here, and now, of all the issues that we could have had to make racial progress, a very conservative measure, affirmative action, simply saying to have legislation to offset negative action. Let's affirm racial inclusion. Let's affirm gender rights. Let's affirm voting rights. Let's affirm those persons that were given negative actions by government institutions has now been taken off the table. How can you have racial progress when you cannot discuss race, which they created as the problem? We're not the problem. They created God's magnificent creation as a problem. The remedy for racial hatred, the remedy against racial antipathy, the remedy for racial equality and justice has now been removed. So this is the part that hurts so much. Where do we go from here? What's the solution that they're offering? The people that are doing the work at Harvard, trying to correct their history, the people that are doing the work at universities that are trying to make a brighter future, they have now told them you can no longer use this tool, which was very conservative. Now, what's fair is reparations to pay for the damage that you've done. So ironically, now they have catapulted, unintentionally, reparations back to the forefront. If you're not going to factor us into the growth of America by a measure, although tepid, what are we to do? The same institutions that gave the Homestead Act, they gave white Americans farm land so that they could build and they could prosper and they could settle and they could feed, that the Department of Agriculture still funds to this day. Being on the Agriculture Committee, and I thank you all for letting me have this opportunity to be in Washington, I've seen so much. I thought having a backyard was awesome, and I'm glad I grew up with one, and I'm glad I've lived around parks. I thought having 10 acres was a dream, to have an estate on 10 acres. I thought if you had 30 acres, you had something magnificent. And God knows if you could ever have 100 acres, that to me is mind-blowing. But now that I see farmers that have 5,000 acres and 10,000 acres and 100,000 acres of land, and they still get government subsidies, and they're now fighting against the very people in the farm bill that simply need supplemental nutritional assistance program. Those women and children that need supplemental nutrition, those descendants of slavery, those Americans that have fought in every war, that own no land, that can't have any cattle, no sheep, no beef, no pork, no vegetables, that don't have the means by which they can feed themselves, the government offers a supplemental nutritional assistance program because 77% of Americans today, between the ages of 18 and 25, are not physically fit to join the military service. They're overfed and we are malnourished. So the government offers something, just a little stipend, and it varies state to state. Sometimes it's $110 a state, up to $180 another state. $2 per meal is what they are offering Americans to eat. That's all in the farm bill. And now they're telling us that we can't even qualify to have any level of racial justice on the horizon. There's one way you can say this. You can say the Supreme Court has struck down affirmative action. I don't like talking in the negative. What they've done is they've closed the door for opportunities into the future, ladies and gentlemen. When Northwestern University and the University of Chicago roughly have 40% Caucasian students and 14 to 15% Asian students, and 4 to 3% of African American students. And I do believe that number is fudged because they put the Africans with the African Americans, get everybody black that they can find and push them in there. So what does this mean in real world context for you and I today? What they're saying is, if you're a father like Jared Kushner, who's the son-in-law of Donald J. Trump, if your father donates $2.5 million and you're not qualified to go to Harvard, you can still get in. That's been kept in place. So you can donate your way into Harvard and into elite schools. If you are an international student and the school says they want to have diversity, you can be an international student and still get into the school. If you are saying there is a female component, there's also going to be some consideration to get into the school. But if you're also an athlete and you can dribble and run and jump, and God has endowed you with certain athleticism, you can still get into the school according to their metrics. But if you say, I'm black, that was the only thing under consideration in the case. If you are black. So ladies and gentlemen, that's going to mean everything that's touched from the classroom all the way to the boardroom. But here's the contradiction before I sit down, and the hypocrisy. The Supreme Court does not make Judge Bush narrow decisions, Attorney Wilson. They make broad decisions so they can guide the nation forward across all of our territories and all of our states. Now what they have said, they've made an exclusion. Our military institutions, public institutions, but military, meaning you can go to the front line of war. They look at diversity and affirmative action, race-conscious decision-making. Colin Powell, General Colin Powell, was an affirmative action candidate and recipient. Clarence Thomas was a beneficiary of affirmative action. But what they've left in place is if you go to the military, because the military says we can't recruit people unless we see executives and generals and our leadership representing the 20% of our armed services that have African Americans. Although 13% of the US population, they overly index to serve our nation, to die on the front line. We can use a general and use affirmative action to bring in generals so that we can make sure the recruits see themselves in the highest level. That remains intact. But if you're going to a classroom to be a civilian and you want to go into engineering, you want to go into philosophy, you want to go into the ministry, you want to go into the arts, you want to go into the business, you cannot use that same tool you can use in the military. You can't use it in the classroom. You're going to be excluded from the boardroom, but you can use it on the battlefield. Thank God for Joe Biden and thank God for Justice Ketanji Brown. She says this is an ostrich-like opinion where you stick your head in the ground and trying to ignore racism because you don't want to discuss race. Ladies and gentlemen, I am excited now because when our backs get against the wall, that means we have to fight back. After 359 years from 1619 to 1978, the only method that was offered for have racial inclusion was affirmative action in 1978. And now they've taken that away from us. I thank God for being the son of Reverend Jesse Jackson. I have spoken to some friends and they've been depressed and they've been sad, and I get excited because my father has never stopped fighting. Don't tell me back in the civil rights days. He is reminding me civil rights never went away. We have to fight for all the gains we've ever had. We have to protect all the gains we've ever had. And we've got to fight for all the things that we're going to need into the future. So I'm standing here as a representative from the 1st District in the Congress, one of 176 African Americans to have ever been elected into the House of Representatives since 1789 after 234 years out of 12,505 representatives. We now have another voice on the floor, and I thank God for you, Dad. Let's fight on. The Reverend Jesse Jackson.
I am somebody. I am somebody. Respect me. Protect me. Never neglect me. I am somebody. Stop the violence. Save the children. Stop the violence. Save the children. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Make it scream. I'm so delighted when I hear Jonathan speak. Such a great moral authority and such a great clarity of thought. Tell you, my friends, that on July 13th, or July 15th really, open our convention. People who were in 400 plus delegates of 84 will be here, and the 200 delegates of 1988 will be here for this convention. to open up that day. We're going to have a major statement that day. That night we're going to honor Jerry Butler and going to honor Ramsey Lewis. And then we're going to show the film that night, Save the Children. And so I want to thank you, Bishop, for your outstanding work. Reverend Jeanette Wilson, give Jeanette a hand. We're going to need some volunteers during this season because too few people are having too much to do. Some of us be here Monday, for a matter of fact. Others be closed, but some of us be here Monday because it's a day off for some people, but a day on for those who have to work. It's a day on for those who have to fight for freedom. So it's a day on for some of us on a Monday. If you want to volunteer some time, because it's a day on for your work, a day off for your work. We had lots of telephone calls to make, lots of work to do. One thing, Sister Laverne, give Laverne and she's going to direct our Trade Bureau. Laverne, thank you very much, okay? Now, on the Trade Bureau, every house in Chicago must be proofed on lead paint, for example. That's a lot of jobs. Every house in Chicago must be lead proof. We're going to get those jobs. We're going to get lead proofing jobs. We're getting lead proofing jobs. So we're now organizing best of our ability to those who want to join our construction wing of our Trade Bureau. So the jobs are plenty. Houses have lead paint, schools have lead paint, churches have lead paint. So it's poisonous, it's dangerous to one's health. So every house in Chicago, in the nation really, will have those jobs. So we're going to fight for those jobs. Also, as we rebuild Chicago, there's vacant lots, abandoned buildings, somebody got to build them. This is a great part of our work, so I want you to be interested in doing construction work. We're also schools like Dawson School and former trade schools. We'll learn how to build, teach us how to build, teach us how to build, teach us how to build. Young people will be involved in the process, learn how to do construction work and trade skill work. There's always a lot of money in building, and Chicago's in a rebuilding mode. When you close those schools, trade schools, and teachers only about reading, writing, and counting, you miss the point. There's a philosophy behind building buildings, money behind building buildings. We must develop the Trade Bureau. One thing is Laverne for her work. Give her a big hand, Laverne Hall. We've been meeting last 3 weeks. Help of Omar Sharif and others of them. I want to thank you, Omar, for helping convene this group. Let me say to you, my friends, on that Saturday, we'll be coming together from around the country. About 500 have already agreed to come. Miss Betty Magnus, who helped to build the Coalition of 8488. Him organizing that. Betty, we thank you for your work, Betty. Betty had a birthday this week. Betty's about 85 or 90 years old now. She's organizing it. Say, hello, Betty. Hello, Betty. Yeah. Let me say to you, my friends, we're in a dangerous season now. Trying to remove history, trying to remove the people who made the history in the first place. Trying to remove history, trying to remove the people who made history in the first place. So we have with us today our journal from the House Journal from Haiti, Council Journal, because Haiti is the country that was the most hated country for whites in the world. Haiti, there's in Savannah, Georgia, there's a big plaque on downtown Savannah that says, "We thank Haitians for coming to help us win the war, the Battle of Savannah." Out of that battle came America was facing the prospect of France controlling the Caribbean islands, South French expansion, the Louisiana Purchase on the land west of the Mississippi River for like $1 acre or something like that. They came with that war, and 1,000 Haitians died, so America free. Louisville went back home, and guess what? He won the war against France, trying to enslave Haitians. He won the war, he drove France out, and Haiti got free, the first free African people in the world, Haitians. African Americans were enslaved. It feels that if Haiti did it, that plantation here would revolt as well. Africa was colonized by France and by Britain and by Germany and by Belgium. They felt that if Haiti could do it, Africa would revolt too. So when Haiti got free, the only black people on earth that were free at that time in the world, y'all hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Only free people in the world, the Haitians, were free. And what they did was, you had to put a trade embargo on Haiti for 35 years. Put an embargo on Haiti once it was free. Now they were free to fight for America's freedom, but not free to fight for themselves. Now let's go a step further, my friends, because we today look at Haiti as the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. We never stopped fighting Haiti and Latin America. Latin America, the reason why all them people are coming over here on the border, American policy is seducing them here, bringing them here. So if you fight trade with Canada, fight the embargo trade with Latin America, people embargo come to where they can get some food and some water and some jobs. So they're coming here not because they want to come here. We will not trade with them. So we're not going to trade with Cuba. But Cuba has proven that you can survive without America milling all your business. Guatemala is on attack, and as well as on attack is Cuba and Guatemala and Latin America is on attack, people of color. And they're on attack because basically they're people of color. That's why we must never break up the coalition between blacks and brown people. Don't be fooling into that trap. Together we win big cities. You want one LA because blacks and browns came together. It's true with Chicago, same is true with New York. When we come together, we fight, we win together. We must maintain the Latin American coalition. When Latin Americans do come here, they're able to come in, work for free labor. They send Haiti back in airplanes, get them out here real fast. We must fight for Haitian freedom. Brother Joseph, give me a hand. Thank you, Joseph. I also want to say this, my friends, that on our convention, some of you are here today. I want you to come to the convention with your mind set on freedom. The decisions this week to put affirmative action and to cut schools access, combined with the decision made by the court to jam Voting Rights Act on the Heller case. These are worse than the 1896 decision. It's worse, Johnny, because in the 1896 decision, after slavery determined we did not have the right to live on equal par with white people. Slavery was equal. I mean, they would keep what they had, we would keep what we had, which was property. Now, my concern is this. I used to wonder why the Haitians, poor folks, when they got jammed by us, why there was so little fight back in 1896. We had developed the middle class by 1896. 1865, we've had the freedom struggle. The black middle class did not fight back. Today, the black middle class is not fighting back with their minds and bodies. We want to have march on Washington, march in every major city in this country. My friends, let me tell you, when they take away affirmative action and take away the right to vote, it's getting late in the evening. The biggest decision since 1896 was made this past week in the Supreme Court. Corrupted. The leader and Clarence Thomas corrupted the court. These guys are getting thousands of free dollars. The leader and Clarence Thomas are free. Clarence Thomas got in the Holy Cross on affirmative action. Got into Harvard on Yale on affirmative action. He has the severity to be against affirmative action. He's corrupt. Clarence Thomas is corrupt. Clarence Thomas is corrupt. Leader is corrupt. In fact, that Justice Roberts will not punish him for being corrupt. He's part of the corruption. Corrupted Supreme Court is undercutting our right to live. And I want you who are listening today, please call Rainbow Push right now. RainbowPush.org, and come over here and give us some volunteer time. But 10 to 2 this coming Monday, we need you to give some time, not just money. We need you to give some time up. We need you to give some time. You cannot afford to hit like affirmative action, which means the negative action is all right. The negative action, permitted. Affirmative action is undercut. And not only that, but you make it less able to go to school and cost more to go to school, it's like saying you're out of school. Y'all got the point, right? Got the point, right? Now, I want you to do that. So I want some volunteers over here, 10 to 2 on this coming Monday. We have work to do. Work to do. I want those of you who are listening today right now, go right now to your Google and get some information about our convention right now. Bishop, thank you very much.
Give it up for Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson. You heard Reverend Jackson talk about the work. One more time for Reverend Jesse Jackson, everybody. Somebody say, keep hope alive. Say it again, keep hope alive. Say it one more time, keep hope alive. You can text that word PUSH to 41444 and help us keep hope alive. Reverend Jackson was very poignant, passionate, and prolific as it relates to the work that we're doing in Haiti. And there's a march that we'll be participating in. Before the Council General comes, there's a tremendous opportunity for you to give. $35 a year, $15 for seniors and students. It's even the cost of our registration for our convention, the 57th Annual International Convention of the Rainbow Push Coalition. On your table is an envelope. I need you to make a contribution. There are those of you who can give $1,000, $100, $50, but I don't want you to leave without making that contribution. And you can go to that QR code and you can give as well via your mobile banking. So go to your mobile device and give or make that contribution in that envelope, and one of our staff will come and receive you. I want you to put your hands together for Dr. John Armand, the Consul General for the nation of Haiti.
Thank you, thank you. Good morning, good morning. And thank you, Reverend Jackson. Thank you, Congressman Jackson. Thank you, Reverend Wilson. And thank you for being here today to listen to me. And my name is Dr. John Armand, and I'm one Haitian, and I am with the Consulate General of Haiti. And then they took me out of the consulate, they sent me to the UN. When I went to the UN, I don't like what was going on with the UN in Haiti, so I decided to become more independent, to be a Haitian doing the work of Haiti. And I'm sure you heard everything the Reverend said about Haiti. Haiti is under attack. Why? We're asking them why. Why attacking Haiti at this time? We say, what did we do wrong? But we know, according to them, what we did wrong. What we did wrong is because we fought for freedom. Yes. What we did wrong, we stood against slavery. Yes. What we did wrong, we fought against the greatest army at the time, the Napoleonic army. And they came to Haiti, and none of them went back to France because we almost killed them all. Okay, so this is the power that we have. And today, Haiti is under attack. Haiti has been under attack for 200 years because the US government, they did not recognize the independence of Haiti for over 60 years. And the French government told Haiti, in order for us to recognize you as an independent nation, you have to pay us so we can recognize you. At the time, they charged Haiti $150 million. That was a lot of money for a young country. So it took Haiti many, many years, to pay that. There is a lot we can say about that. But today, what we think is happening, it's like they want to put Haiti under the ocean. They want to destroy that country completely. So the people of Haiti, or the country of Haiti, will be no more. So, and remember that because of what Haiti did, Haiti became a lantern, a light for the black people. So now, if they cut the head, which Haiti represents, and what can the body do? If they cut the head, the body will die. So they are attacking us in all fronts. They are attacking us in Haiti, they are attacking us in Africa, and they are attacking us here in America. So it's time for us to wake up. So there is no black Haitian, no black American, no black African. We are all one people. One people, yes. Don't let them kind of fool us to make us think that we are different. We are not different at all. We are one people. We all have the same blood. So, and Haiti fought before, and Haiti is fighting again. And yes. And if we did it then, when we are a much younger nation, so we can do it now, because we have more people, we have more knowledgeable people, we have more capable people. So the thing that we have to do is to really team up together, because together we will be stronger. Don't let Haiti fight for itself, because at the time when Haiti was fighting before, it was hard for other nations to participate. But today, it is not the same thing. So we all can go and support Haiti. Because of what's going on, we saw recently they sent back 25,000, 30,000 Haitians back to Haiti, where things are very chaotic, where things are not good at all for the people. And right after that, they are receiving the Latinos people. We don't have anything against the Latinos. And Haiti fought for the Latinos. Haiti freed up a lot of Latin countries. Haiti sent them troops, money, weapons, and everything. So that's why the Latinos people, they're very grateful to Haiti. But now they are going to try to use them kind of against us. And they're sending them a lot of people in Chicago, a lot of Latino people in Chicago. So they're going to keep the government busy so they don't have time to take care of the black people. Because the thing is to try to diminish us and to other people can increase. So that is not going to happen as long as Haiti is alive. Therefore, we have a march coming up next Sunday, the 9th, in Chicago. This is an international march all over the globe. They are doing it for Haiti. And we all will be marching at 12 noon all over the globe. So the march said that International March Relief for Haiti, Freedom for Haiti. So I will invite all of you to come and participate. We will be at the Daily Plaza, and then we will be marching from the Daily Plaza to the Federal Plaza through Washington East, and then we go in Michigan, south, we go west on Adams, and then we will be in front of the Federal Plaza. There we will deliver some message. So I would like to see all of you and think that you are not outside of Haiti, you are part of Haiti because we are one people. And we heard what Congressman Jackson said about the affirmative action and about all the new rules that are coming up. And we are going to see more of that. Because anything they give us, anything we thought that we had, they're going to try to remove it from us. So the only thing where we can survive is that we have to fight. We have to fight, and we have to fight together. And believe it or not, Haiti can do it. But Haiti cannot do it alone this time. So we have to do it together. So that's why I appreciate Reverend Jackson, who stood up for Haiti for a long time. For a long time. And yes, and he wants, yes, and he wants me to come to tell people, to tell us about Haiti, and to remind you not to forget Haiti, to keep Haiti in your mind, keep Haiti in the forefront. So hopefully you will get some copies of this, and you can pass them around, so for all of us to march as one people. And may God bless you.
One more time for Dr. John Armand, Counsel General for the nation of Haiti. You can go to our website and you can get that information for that march. We'll be joining. Somebody say, Haiti is our family. Say it one more time, Haiti is our family. Let's make some noise for our Haitian brothers and sisters. You know, Reverend Jackson talked about the work of the PUSH International Trade Bureau that encompasses our professional services, contracting, and employment and engagement in entrepreneurship. And we have a phenomenal person who has joined to help us move the Trade Bureau forward. She's the president of Can Do Corporation. I want you to put your hands together for Miss Laverne Hall as she comes.
Good morning, PUSH. Thank you, Congressman Jackson, because you really emphasized the need for us to have a sense of urgency. We've been talking about how we're going to achieve diversity, equity, and inclusion. We've been focusing primarily on diversity, and I get that we've set goals. But when we look at the equity piece, we're falling far short. I took a look at where we're coming in on construction as it relates to diversity, and the goal is 30%, and when you talk to the city, they're very proud of the fact that they're meeting that 30%. But when you look into that 30%, 4 to 6% of it is going to African American businesses. There's clearly no equity in this solution, in this program. So one of the things that we need to do is meet with the mayor and figure out how to take some corrective action I got that term from Bishop Grant. But corrective action is what's needed right now. We've got a group of contractors that's been coming together, but we really need to bring everyone together as we are coming up with a strategic strategy for how we're going to address this. The mayor has asked the Reverend to really bring him a strategy on how we're going to get more Black businesses involved in the city's procurement process. And we've got some solutions. So one of the things that we're going to do, we're going to meet with Reverend Mitz. It's my understanding that she's been put in charge of contracting equality or contracting unit. And we're going to basically work with her and work with the mayor and work with the city to come up with a program that really develops, I'm going to call it a capacity building initiative to really help a lot of our smaller Black businesses get to the point where they can compete. We're also going to link our businesses with our job training program. Like the Reverend was saying, we've got to get into these jobs. It's my understanding that a lot of the trade bureaus, a lot of the trade schools, those things are not as robust as they need to be. So net, the only way a lot of our individuals can even get into the trades, to even become an apprentice, they have to be sponsored by one of the companies, the Black companies. Well, guess what? If they aren't getting business, they can't sponsor anyone. So can you see how this is just a vicious cycle? So we've got to address it at the beginning. How do we get our Black businesses into that procurement pipeline? Corporate is starting calling it onboarding, but how do we get our Black businesses into that pipeline so that they can in turn hire individuals from our community? We can start creating jobs of the future because there's all kinds of weatherization that's being done on buildings. There's all kinds of policies that we need to really, as it relates to the environmental justice, we need to get involved in getting our Black businesses prepared to really do the work of the future. So the Trade Bureau is in the process now of pulling together a strategy that we're going to take to the mayor. We really want to measure the economic impact this has once we get this initiative rolling, because we want to come back and report to you not only how many jobs we've created, but where those jobs were created. Not how many contracts, but what that amount is. We want to benchmark where we are right now as it relates to equity, and then see how we are moving the needle. So if we're at 4% now, I want to come back to you a year from now and tell you where we are. And we want to set a goal, an equity goal that is something that can withstand any legal challenge, but have a goal that makes sense, because we know right now 4% is nowhere near where it should be. So I really need everyone that can help us revitalize this, our trade bureau, to the point where we are really coming up with a strategy that comes to the mayor where we can come back and measure the economic impact we're having. I appreciate the support. Thank you.
And if you want, one more time for Laverne Hall, if you want to be a part of the Push International Trade Bureau, go to www.rainbowpush.org and hit that tab and let us know that you want to be a part of that. One more time for Laverne Hall. You know, as we mobilize and organize, we cannot do it without your financial support. That envelope is so very important. That QR code is so very important to what we do every day somewhere around the country. If you've enjoyed this program and this platform today, put your hands together, because we got a lot of work. We got a lot of work to do. And as Reverend Jeanette Wilson is preparing to come, you know, Congressman Jackson was very clear. This colorblind court, this colorblind court that fails to accept and acknowledge that the racism of 200 years is still alive and well in America. And we're not going to back down. We're not going to back up. As a matter of fact, we're going to speed up, stand up, speak up, and make sure that we fight for our rights. Is that the right thing to do? You ought to make some noise if you believe that's the right thing to do. This whole idea of affirmative action and this legacy-long history of preferential race-based treatment, state-sponsored preferential treatment. The state of Wisconsin just now voted and removed over $100 million out of diversity, equity, and inclusion simply because they did not want the money to go to black and brown communities in the state of Wisconsin. And so what we've seen in the past 48 hours is unleashing the lower courts in a manner that we've not seen in over 50 years. These race-based gaps that exist in employment, race-based gaps that exist in healthcare. 1.6 million black people have lost their lives in over 20 years for one reason and one reason alone. It's called racism. 1.6, that's what you call a race-based gap in healthcare. When you close mental health clinics, when you marginalize hospitals, when you make access to affordable health care difficult, that's called a race-based gap, and we are going to close the gap and make sure that we get not only our fair share, but what we have earned. 40 million people, 40 million are bearing the burden of a $20 trillion debt. 40 million people are bearing the burden of a $20 trillion debt. And when you look at the wealth gap between black graduates and white graduates, most black graduates have almost $75,000 of student loan debt. You can't buy a house with that kind of debt. You can't maintain the economy in your family with that kind of debt. White graduates have, at a minimum, 7 times more wealth than black graduates when they get out of college. And so when Reverend Jackson talks about student loan debt, and you're sitting in here and you got credit card debt, you got car loan debt, you got mortgage debt and student loan debt, and we are asking you to support our convention and support our initiatives, we are fighting for you, but you got to fight with us as we fight for you. I think that's the right thing to do. And our silence gives consent. Our absence gives permission. And so as the Council General was talking about our work with Haiti, this Wednesday, when we pull together this collaborative, this collective of legislators and educators and activists and individuals from our various organizations, the Urban League, the NAACP, we want these forces to know one of the things that we've learned in almost 60 years of following Reverend Jesse Louis Jackson, we don't win if we don't fight. And when we fight, we always win, but you can't fight if you don't fight back. I'm just talking to the right people at Dr. King's workshop. For those of you who want to spiritualize this, the Bible says, fret not thyself because of evildoers, for they shall soon be cut down. Y'all ain't talking back to me. I don't want you to become weary in well-doing. When Laverne talks about organizing construction workers and labor workers and teachers and educators, don't become weary in well-doing. Get yourself ready to fight back, because they will soon be cut down. Y'all ain't talking back. We ain't close enough to Sunday yet, but tell somebody they will soon be cut down. Wherever they are, they will soon be cut down. They cannot sit on that court forever. They cannot sit in the White House forever. They cannot sit in the Congress forever. They cannot sit in the Senate forever. They will soon, I wish I had some help in here, JJ, they will soon be cut down. How do we cut them down? We keep on marching. How do we cut them down? We keep on demonstrating. How do we cut them down? We keep on voting. We marched too long, bled too much, cried too much, fought too many battles to give up now. The race is not given to the swift or to the strong, but it's given to he or she who endures unto the end. I don't know how you feel about it, but this is how I feel about it. They that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not. I wish I had some eagles in the house, some social justice eagles, some civil rights eagles. Look at somebody, tell them we're about to take off. We're ready to fight. We're not throwing in the towel. We're not going to resign. We're not going to surrender. Somebody say never surrender. 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 Make some noise, free people. Reverend Dr. Jeanette Wilson.
You're gonna keep playing. Huh? So, ladies and gentlemen, you have felt the fire. You've heard the passion. Now we need you to take action. First, we want to invite you here on Wednesday. Everyone that is with any amount of student loan debt, you can't just sit at home, look at your parents, they can't pay that debt. You can't just sit around and you don't have a job that can pay the debt. You need to come here Wednesday because we got to fight about this student loan debt. Almost every young person that's at least African American and Hispanic that I have met has student loan debt. You cannot go anywhere with that kind of debt. You can't get married, you can't travel, you can't get a house, you can't get a car. You need to be fighting about it. That's not normal. Those of us who are baby boomers, we did not graduate with that kind of debt. It was not acceptable to us. It should not be acceptable to you. So we want you to meet us here Wednesday. You're not working, you're not in school, be here Wednesday if you have student loan debt. Some of you are parents with student loan debt. Come meet us here Wednesday so we can have a plan of action. Well, it's not just parents and grandparents and students with the student loan debt. Those of you who benefited from affirmative action. You got your job in the city, the county, or the state. You need to be here too. Those of you who benefited from the work of those who fought for affirmative action, you need to be here. Some of you went to majority institutions, you graduated, you need to come back here so we can fight about this ruling. Those of you who say, well, I just don't know what we're voting for. You get down to the judicial ballots and you get confused. You look at the congressional ballots, you get confused. 10 o'clock on Wednesday, 10 o'clock at Push on Wednesday. This is urgent. 10 o'clock this coming Wednesday, the day after you eat all that pork and barbecue and baked beans, you're going to come here Wednesday morning at 10. Why? Because you can't just sit around and act like this is normal. They've been planning to take back affirmative action. They've been planning this fight against Biden's student loan debt relief, which wasn't enough. He's just started. Students all over America should be marching. And you heard the Consul General of Haiti. I know you've been wondering, what about Haiti? Well, you can come here because you're going to act about Haiti. Haiti freed us, we're going to free Haiti. So I don't want to keep repeating the problems. That's why you come Wednesday. Say Wednesday. Day after 4th of July. And let me just say this. We get excited about celebrating the 4th of July. It was not for us. We were not free then. But anyway, Wednesday, day after the 4th of July, Push at 10 o'clock. We're having a press conference. I want to see students, especially students who enrolled at the University of Chicago, students who enrolled at Northwestern, where Jonathan graduated, students who are enrolled at John Marshall, UIC Law School, students that enrolled at DePaul Law School, because I know you got debt. You need to be here to fight about it, and you know we're going to talk about legal challenges. We're going to talk about demonstrating. talking about marching on Washington and marching on the Supreme Court. The other thing we want you to do, why should you be a part of this year's convention? One, Saturday, we have a congressman that grew up here. We have a congressman that learned here. We have a congressman that studied here, and he always said, I'm not gonna fix the blame, we're gonna fix the problem. Well, he's gonna open up Saturday because he's been with us before he went to Congress, so he's gotta be able to tell us where we are, where we were, and you know, he likes to say, I'm gonna fix the blame, not gonna fix the blame, I'm gonna fix the problem. Well, come Saturday, the 15th, he's gonna fix the problem. Then, you're gonna hear about 84 and 88. How many of you voted for Reverend Jackson in 84 and 88? How many of you worked for Reverend Jackson in 84 and 88? How many of you wish you could have worked for Reverend Jackson in 84 and 88? Well, you need to be here Saturday to be a part of the 84 and 88. Now, let me just tell you, Betty has organized with her team 200 to 300 people coming from all around the country to push. We have to go 3 times Betty so she will not feel like she can do it by herself for Saturday. So we need 1,000 people to be here Saturday from Chicago. I never invite people to my house and not be at home. Y'all with me? How many of you will call 10 people, tell 10 people to meet us here Saturday, July 15th? Well, no, send it again, because you know we forget stuff. And after they eat all that pork, they're going to need you to remind them to come on Saturday, July 15th. 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Now, that's just Saturday. Now we're going to go to the University of Chicago. Some of us, especially our children, have never been on the campus of the University of Chicago. So we're going to go to the University of Chicago on Monday. But back up, Sunday will be a fellowship. It's the Reverend Clay Evans Gospel Concert. We're gonna need that inspiration to do this fighting. And so Reverend Sharp is looking for us. They got all the screens and everything you need. We're gonna have a great gospel concert. Don't ask me who's gonna sing. You be there and you can hum in the seat, because it's gonna be great. Whenever you go to fellowship, it's great music. And then Monday, we're going to have the international people. We got people flying from around the country. You got to be there. Some of you have never been to Nigeria, never been to South Africa, never been to Ghana. Well, they coming here. So we want to welcome them. You put your African clothes on if you want to on Monday morning. And then you're looking at all these governments. We got lead pipes. We have water issues in almost all of the cities around the country. And you know, if you drive in Chicago, we have infrastructure issues. But Jonathan, who's on the agricultural committee, has indicated to us, we got to look at the agricultural department, because there's so much money going to small towns and cities all around us that we're unaware of. And our little mayors don't know how to access that money. They don't know where it goes. We're going to be talking about that on Monday at the luncheon. Yes, you got to buy a ticket. Go get your cleaners to pay for your ticket if you don't have any money. Or you can start now gathering your money. It's $150 for every meal function. $150. There are no free seats. $150. I'm going to pay for mine, you pay for yours. And I'll be glad to see you. It's $150. And there are people in business that will sponsor you. Your church can sponsor you. If you go to churches like Betty, you can get sponsored. And then that night we're gonna, we have, how many of you watch Different World? Dawn Lewis from A Different World. She will be at the education banquet. We're gonna honor Stacey Gates Davis, who's the president of Chicago Teachers Union. And we'll be honoring some other sports, some athletes and so forth. Want you to be there. And that's at the University of Chicago, Rubenstein Forum on July the 17th. Then July the 18th, we're still at the Rubenstein Forum. That morning, it is a business breakfast. If you want to be in business, if you think you're in business, you want to be at this breakfast. It's my understanding that the Bally's. How many of you gamble? You're not in church? Raise your hand. You've been to the casino to eat. Well, you know Bally's is coming to Chicago. You want to come and meet the CEO and president of Bally's. Bally's has shoes, Bally's has casinos, Bally's has a lot of business opportunities. Reverend talked about jobs, Bally's has a lot of jobs. Then at noon, all the faith leaders around the city of Chicago will be there. And around the country are coming in for this faith leaders luncheon. You don't want to miss the faith leaders luncheon. If you have a faith organization that you attend, ask your faith leader to buy a table so that you can sit there with them at the luncheon, right? Faith leaders luncheon. So whether you are Muslim, Jewish, Catholic, Christian, whatever your faith is, we want you to be at the faith leaders luncheon because we're talking about social justice, social action. Then, and we have workshops all day Monday. We have workshops in health Monday. We have student town hall Monday. That's part of your registration. On Tuesday, we have workshops about faith and religion and how you can get some money from foundations. We got a lot of stuff for you. All we need you to do is register and come. You can go to all the workshops for $35. The only thing that you're paying a little bit more money for are the meal functions. Say meals. Cost more. And then we had a faith leaders luncheon. We have some health sessions talking about health equity, talking about things you need to know. And that night, we're going to labor. How many of you were ever in a labor union? Labor union. SEIU, CTU, ACTWU, ASME, and then the building trades. Labor luncheon will not be at the University of Chicago. It's going to be over at the Operating Engineers Hall. Why are we going there? So we don't give all our money to hotels. I just want y'all to know, because I know some of you went, well, we ain't downtown. Because first of all, NASCAR has torn up the street down there. Secondly, every convention has just taken up all of the hotels, and they're costly. We're going to be at the Operating Engineers Hall that night, labor, and then Wednesday, we close the convention. And women, it's not just so you can come dressed up. We're going to leave there with an action plan because we give birth to these people that create all these negative laws. We give birth to these people that have student loan debt. We have given birth to all of this, and so we must fight against it. And so we want to salute Dr. Ketanji Brown Jackson with her powerful dissent. And when you come in the room, you will see pictures of women who have broken the glass ceiling, that have made a difference, that are change agents. You want to come to the women's luncheon just to see history in the room. We're going to honor the president of Chicago State University because in the middle of affirmative action, this school now becomes pivotal for us in the city of Chicago. And if you look at schools around the nation, the historical black colleges, predominantly black minority serving institutions will now become more important as we respond to this affirmative action decision. I don't want to get into it because we're going to have lawyers and people analyze and public policy people on Saturday the 15th, along with Congressman Jackson, talking about where we go from here. Reverend, I'm going to recommend, because I know you want us to march, I'm recommending that we redo the Southern Crusade, because most of these states, these red states, are in the South, and we got to help them fight. And we have to start our voting crusade now for 2024. We can't just elect a president, we got to elect a Senate, because the senators sent that 1/3 to the Supreme Court. That 1/3 justices to the right came from the United States Senate. You look at some of these laws, we have to increase the numbers in the Congress, and we have to take the Senate. And we can take it if we register and vote all across this country. We have the power if you have the faith. We do hold these truths to be self-evident. that all of us are created equal by God, and we're going to show them that we are equal and superior in many ways. You come and fight with us, we're going to win.
One more time for Reverend Dr. Jeanette Wilson. Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. in this room. I need you, Sister Muhammad. I need you, Jeremy, Dr. Patterson. We got to put the troops on the field to fight this fight. And there's nobody that's done it any better or any longer than Reverend Jesse Louis Jackson. Give it up for Reverend Jackson. 10 a.m. will be in this room on Wednesday. Those of you who want to join what we're doing, Jason Robinson is in the back. We have any number of Zoom meetings and any number of committee meetings that are going on related to Convention 2023, and you can be a part of them. Before you leave here, make sure we have your email address. Make sure we have your Facebook and Instagram so that we can send you information. It's time to work and it's time to win. Did you hear what I said? It's time to work, it's time to win. Tell somebody it's time to work and it's time to win. Say it one more time. It's time to work. It's time to win. Now, we're not leaving this room until we do two things. The one and only Chenta Strasburg is here. Give it up for Chenta Strasburg. Give it up for Judge Bush. Judge Bush is here. Give it up. And give it up for yourselves. Give it up for yourself. Reverend Patterson's going to come and close us out momentarily, but you going to put some contribution in that envelope or you going to spend the weekend in this room. And we don't have no hot dogs, we don't have no ribs, no rib tips. It'll be the longest civil rights hostage taking weekend. Now, don't look at me with Jeremy. Get one of these envelopes and put a contribution in the envelope. Go to the QR code and you can scan the QR code and go to the website, www.rainbowpush.org. We want to celebrate again Dr. Joseph Bryan from our Silicon Valley office. Push Tech is on the move. I want you to make sure that you give a contribution, but the last thing we're going to do is recognize this week was Betty Magnus' birthday. And I don't know how she configured her birthday to be close to a holiday where she can have 4 or 5 days to celebrate her birthday. I don't know how she worked that out, a NASCAR and all this. She can just ride around all weekend and people just say, oh, it's your birthday. And she say, yes. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Betty. Happy birthday to you. Make some noise for Betty Magnus. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Happy birthday to you. Now listen, as the sounds of freedom, listen. We're going to sing We Shall Overcome. If you got that envelope ready, raise that envelope. Staff will come and get it from you right now. There they are. There's some people that don't want to be held hostage. Don't want to raise that envelope real high. Raise that envelope real high. Raise that envelope real high as the staff member will come and get it. Next Saturday, we're hosting a volunteers luncheon in this room immediately following the town hall. We need you to register with Jason Robinson. Next Saturday is a free luncheon for volunteers for the convention next Saturday. So I want to make sure you're on our volunteer database. Make sure you got that envelope. Let's get that envelope. Make sure we get that envelope from you. Thank you so very much. I want you to have a great, give all of our panelists and speakers a round of applause. Pastor Patterson is coming. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. we shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe. I do believe. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Come on, sing it with us and clap your hands. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe. I do believe. We shall overcome someday. Pray with me. Precious God, we are so grateful to be in this place on this day, at this time, in this moment, having been prepped for the fight. We're inspired, we're encouraged, we're invigorated, we're empowered. We're in the right corner, we're in the right gym. Now when we get in the ring, the enemy will be defeated and you will be exalted. Continue to watch over us, protect us, and keep us in your care. And let us do what you have assigned us to do, so that the world will never be like it was until we do what you've asked us to do. And we ask it in your name, Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen. God bless you. Overcome. We shall overcome. 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 Overcome.